Yo, 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 what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 530. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
I am back from the great beyond, here to talk about some games and shit.
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale.
How you doing?
And speaking about returning, Mr. Brett Murdoch coming in right on time.
What's up,
What
Brett?
up, people?
How you doing, brother?
Ooh, this is rough over here, man.
Oh, no, man.
I thought it was getting better.
Yeah, it turns out the surgery ruptured another one of my discs.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
gonna need a second surgery.
Damn, what the fuck? Dude, you do not have luck with when it comes to medical shit, man. I swear.
Nope. So it seemed like it was going well for a while, and then it took a turn. So now we're gonna go in and do discectomy and lapidectomy, which is parts of holes in some bones, cut away some spinal discs and stuff.
Holy
damn, man. And when is that supposed to be going down?
I don't even know yet. They said they're gonna try and scoop me in, not put me at the end of the waiting list. Try and get me in as soon as possible, but I haven't heard back yet.
Fucking assholes. Well, I'm glad you're here, despite all that. And your timing is actually kind of good because there's a specific story that the fans were asking you about. So I'm going to move it up the queue so you could give your thoughts on it in case you need to dip,
Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's hear what's up.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we could do it now if you want, because, to me, it's the most interesting story. We got to talk about Mario Kart because we're contractually obligated. But anyway, Brett, have you heard about it is a leak. It's not confirmed. Leak, but it seems pretty legit. They're remastering Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
I did see that today. And a lot of the they even showed like how they broke in and where they kept the stuff. Like, this wasn't even really that well like tucked away. Like, it's I think it seems pretty legit. I would be very much not surprised. I'm pretty sure Elder Scrolls is in the same place that Game of Thrones books are in. Like, it's never going to be able to live up to the thing that it already was, and so it's hesitant to want to even try.
Damn. And I want to get your thoughts on some of this stuff because again, nothing confirmed, but I think this might be real. But here's apparently some of the changes. Blocking inspired by Souls-like games. Are they changing the gameplay mechanics?
I mean, there's always been blocking and no.
I don't understand that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sneak icons now highlighted. Were they not before?
I mean, the games have been getting progressively dumbed down since Morrowind. And some of that is quality of life. Some of that is hand-holding. Some of that is, indistinguishable. Like, you used to have to, like, read your actual journal and learn to talk to people and not accidentally kill the wrong person, because then you might ruin like, I killed the quest giver. Well, who's going to give you the quest now? Nobody, bitch. The quest giver's dead. And so each time they've kind of simplified it. So I'm sure they've highlighted the sneak marker more, so it's more obvious. I didn't think it was a problem, but that's fine, I guess.
Yeah. Another one is, I'm just going through the list here. Stamina system modified. What can you tell? What can you tell us?
I think you guys are just looking for bullet points at this point.
Well, that's it. No, I'm literally looking at bullet points right now.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, these sound like marketing bullet points. that they would use to try and sell it's like, yeah, anyway, go
It's
on,
like
go on.
Yeah.
it's like, hey, new experience.
So, but Brett,
Yeah,
if they
Go
are
on.
bullet points, like, does that lend more credence to the rumor?
I think honestly it does, because this would be about how to package and sell something that's already done. It's already made. It's already remastered. The textures are pulled up. Like, I don't think they went in and overhauled a bunch of stuff. And if they did, they honestly probably copied a bunch of codes from the people who fixed it
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
the
The mod
mods, and
community.
then
Yeah.
eventually, yeah, just kind of incorporated those into the main game and been like, oh yeah, here's like the master edition.
I
Um,
mean, they've already done crazy stuff like with Morrow, like with Oblivion, where it was like they already added like ray tracing and all kinds of other crazy stuff, like replacing models. So
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a
yeah,
bit because there is a project called Sky Oblivion. They chimed in on this as well. All right,
I'm interested to hear what they have to say on that.
yeah, so we'll get to that in a bit. They changed the HUD. I don't know how. Hit reactions have been added where they're not hit reactions before.
Not really, no. I mean, a lot of older games didn't have a lot of hit
That
reactions,
is true. A lot of current games don't have hit reaction. To be fair,
unfortunately.
yeah. And the last one here is archery has been overhauled.
I mean, I think they'd probably just bring the new system backwards, like some of the things they've refined.
yeah,
So small quality of life things. Yeah, I mean that's cool. That sounds good. That was the last game, like Skyrim. They fucked up the magic system so bad in that they couldn't really do magic. Wasn't half viable during most of the game. So it's I really liked Oblivion. And it's interesting you say the Sky Oblivion people have chimed in on this, because the Sky Oblivion guys, like, they've been getting a lot of spotlight lately, and I feel like maybe they caught enough spotlight that Bethesda went, you know what? Why don't we just milk this cow?
Yeah, you might be right. So I'm kind of. Oh, by the way, shout out to Richard Bailey who showed up. So I'm going to just read this. This is from PC Gamer. The headline is Sky Oblivion fan project let send lead. The lead developer of the project sends all love and no hate to the official Oblivion Remaster developers. This was always a passion project, and it's still until the end. And then they actually tweeted out like an update, and it said the real remake is the friends who made along the way. So here's the story. Bethesda's long-running Oblivion remaster is now all but official, thanks to a leak from developer Virtuous Games that blabbed a bunch of screens and box art all over the internet yesterday. You might expect that development would take the wind out of the sails of Sky Oblivion, the fan-made Oblivion remake in the Skyrim engine, but that's apparently not the case. In fact, Sky Oblivion project lead Rebel ZZ, forgive me if I said that wrong, says the upcoming official remaster changes nothing. To be clear, this changes nothing for me. This is always a passion project and still is until the end for the community. It's a win-win. You get twice the amount of Oblivion this year. All love and no hate towards the people who made the official remaster. So they're cool with it. What are your
why
thoughts?
wouldn't they be cool
Yeah.
with it?
Yeah, they're supporting it.
Well, they could be like, "Fuck, motherfuckers, we were doing this shit. Now they came around." They could
I
be
think
salty.
they give
Listen,
that if it was a different studio doing it, but it's the same
Yeah.
dude, so it's all right.
No,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
I
well,
think.
yeah, I don't
it
think that's reciprocated though.
Yeah,
No, I think unless I'd see if those guys were stealing code, like from them, or if they were doing a lot more things. I mean, they obviously you realize they don't want their fan project to be closed, you know, and
That'll be
Well,
bad
I mean,
press.
fan projects in general are already on a slippery slope. So
I mean,
he
I don't
wants to
know.
be
Like,
he wants to be as good, has as much goodwill on it, right? And continue to do the thing that he was doing. So he's not going to throw any shade at that.
yeah. Brett, what are your thoughts, bro?
I think Bethesda is a money-hungry company that will instantly shut down Skyblivion at the last second before it comes to fruition if there's any validity to this Oblivion remaster kind of thing. Because
Mm.
they're not going to let you play a fan-made Oblivion in the Skyrim engine um, just because you own Skyrim without buying Oblivion from them. If you want Oblivion, you're going to give Bethesda money for it. These are the guys that released Skyrim 12 times or whatever.
Eh.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree on that. There, it might be a situation where they might, kind of like the people who are doing the Silent Hill 2 fan project, where they're essentially fixing up the old PC version of Silent Hill 2. They've been working on that thing for years, cleaning that game up, getting it to run good on PC. But as soon as the release of that game came out, they essentially said, yeah, we're going to be, stopping that now because, you have the new game that's coming out real soon. So
You might, yeah.
my guess.
Yeah, you might be right about
My
that, but
guess-
so far this guy's saying that he's grateful that Bethesda hasn't shut it down.
Yeah,
And I
well,
think
we'll
that
see. But we'll
hasn't shut
see.
it down yet.
They
will.
Bethesda might just be like have a little kind word on the side of like, hey, maybe you don't promote that right now.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't start talking about that thing or any updates because
I mean, you know what's really sad is like back in the day, or like even today, if you still want good press, hire that guy.
Yeah, they should.
Hire that guy. He's good.
The only ones that I've seen that legitimately have hired the people in the fan community to do the remasters is the people who did it's not Night Dive, but whoever's doing the Tomb Raider remasters right now and did the Soul Reaver remaster, they actually did hire people
Asprey.
who did very
Asprey.
Yeah, so those guys actually did hire fans from the community who did do who knew those games in and out to do the remaster of those. So
Oh yeah. Well, Blizzard used to hire people from their fan community. Valve used to hire people from in their fan community. Like there was a point where doing these kinds of projects was actually, ironically enough, to like people like Manny who if you want to get the comic books, got to start making comic books, and so like the idea of launching your own fan project as a way to demonstrate your portfolio is nothing new, to artists. So it's weird that doesn't work that way in the video game industry.
I mean, yeah, like Valve had like the current version RTX Half-Life 2. That's an officially supported thing, and it was made by fans. So,
yeah. And also, go ahead, Brett. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say all the companies that did kind of hire from their intense loyal fan base, they tend to be companies that succeeded really well and were big fan favorite companies. So
Valve did that with the Portal. Remember that most recent last year?
Maybe there's a correlation there.
Didn't Sega hire those guys to do the Sonic remakes for Sonic CD and stuff?
Yeah, they did. They were known in the fan community for doing those things. The Hedgehog,
big fucking deal.
Not the Hedgehog,
whoa.
Yeah. No, but again, another instance like, oh, you guys are doing this awesome mod. Why don't you work for us? Like that's cool,
I mean, to be honest, a lot of these guys know these things, these engines and stuff almost better than the people that currently work at these studios. They've, after all those guys have kind of moved on, maybe work at other studios, they fired them all, kind of like in the situation with the Team Silent people. Nobody at Konami knows how original Silent Hill works. It's obvious because that fucking first Silent Hill HD remaster they did years ago was a piece of shit. Right?
Yeah. One thing that PC Gamer brings up, they're like, it's possible the fan make remake is going to be better than the real one. And one of the writers I flat out said is like, listen, I can't imagine how the official remake is going to be better than this fan one, because he thinks the fan one is fantastic. So it'll be interesting.
The fan one is literally just like a remake using all the the stuff that was in the original was in Skyrim.
Yeah.
To create this game. So
and it's made with love. It has love on it.
There you go.
That's the thing. Yeah. You can have people that work at jobs like, yeah, I like my job. And then there's people that's like, I'm going to dedicate my damn life to making this butter version. Here we go. And then you feel it. You're playing the game. You start wiping your own tears because you could feel the passion within every frame.
Yeah, so that's true. You're gonna feel that instead of just like, oh, here we go, just make that tree over there. Those guys are gonna pour every ounce of love into every blade of grass. Mm-hmm. So yeah, good stuff there. So we'll see what happens. Get nothing official, but it seems pretty legit. Based on all those leaks, look pretty fucking legit to me.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Jake and a bunch of the guys have been reporting on it, and they're like, if this isn't official, it's crazy. This is a huge ruse.
Who's Jake?
Gotta have something.
Who's Jake and the guys?
Yeah.
Jake Baldino.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Game Ranks.
Yeah, okay. Gotta say that because I thought you were talking about Venomous Fat Man.
Oh, man, friends of the show. Friends of the show.
So, what's up?
Jake's friends of the show.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Friends of the show.
Yeah. What's up, Brett?
The thing that convinces me is the box art. It's
the box art.
Like marketing material.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, it's one thing to be like, oh, look at these, this leaked video for this game. It has a UI and everything. It's another thing to be like, here's the marketing material. It's like, yeah, okay, there it is. There.
Yeah.
It's just seeing the mock-up, I was like, yeah, no, that looks like exactly what I would imagine a remaster to look like. And I heard about it just on the heels of somebody still talking about, another version of The Last of Us.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, another one.
Another one. It's crazy.
So apparently this is just what we're doing.
Yeah, The Last of Us, the complete edition. Please. I'm not making this up.
But doesn't it cost almost as much, like just about as much as buying them both separately?
I think so, because it's like in a steel case or some bullshit.
Ooh. Yeah, it's still like $130.
Let me check this out. I think it's.
But it's not complete, Brett. I don't know if you heard this, but the multiplayer is not even there. They're saying it's a complete, but they're not even putting that back up. Just turn the servers back on then, at least for a year. Get people the full experience. Give them all the cards and all the bells and whistles.
It's $99, by the way.
On that, that never happened.
Yeah,
right? I mean, that's like Burnout Paradise. If Burnout Paradise, when they did the remastered and that whole super collection, if that came out, it's like, hey, no multiplayer, just race against AI. People flip out. Come on, man. Complete means complete.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, $100. This thing is, just get that out there because I don't want anybody. Hey, you're wrong about the price.
They got a layaway plan.
I mean,
right.
Is it all?
We get to that point.
I don't even know if it is a disc.
I
think it is. I think it is, but we'll see.
Today.
Oh, really?
What was that? You went to a GameStop?
You lamented it. Okay.
Did you take pictures with the people there for memories? I'm like, oh,
no. I don't even know if they still use it. Like, I was taking a moment to like lament used game stores, man, because I was like, the thing about like, I don't think back in the day, this shit really would have flown. Like, you couldn't sell us 20 versions of Skyrim because you'd be competing for shelf space at the GameStop that had that same Skyrim in there for like $12-13, or maybe like, now you got a Game of the Year edition, includes the DLC. It's $4 or $5 more, right? Since these guys have cornered the market on their digital platforms, they don't really have sales like that. You end up with prices that start inflated and stay inflated. So like, in 2025, is $100 for 2 games bad? No, but the fact that they're remasters of old games, and I'm still saying that, doesn't make me feel like we're in a great place.
Yeah, it's crazy how much they milked this franchise, man, and motherfuckers keep buying them.
Not just them. It's not just them. It's 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 GTA coming out on 3 generations. It's Skyrim being released 14 times. It just seems to be the way that they're doing things. And instead of, and I get it, like they're like, hey, here's $300 billion, make us something great, and you can't do it. Heads are gonna roll. So they're just gonna lean back on ideas that they know work. But the problem is, like, and maybe I'm just saying the quiet part out loud here because I'm on too many drugs. Just full disclosure for everybody, I'm still on a buttload of meds, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Brett's a little out of pocket tonight, but I think we all fucking know the people at the company that aren't talented, right? And like, I'm not talking about any company in particular. You can think about your company, think about your work, think about how many people at where you work are integral and vital and talented, and how many of them that you would fucking need. And like, yeah, you could like cut down the crew and pay people more and treat people better and find more talent. Like, it's ridiculous that things like Schedule 1 are coming out and trouncing AAA games in Steam players. Right? Like South of Midnight was destroyed by Schedule 1. Like, fucking destroyed by it. Schedule 1 was made by one dude. Right? Now they're introducing vibe coding where you can just kind of describe a game and shit AI fucking starts throwing it together so you can throw up mock concepts of games within hours to days. Shit. You get some really talented people who can run with these tools, and you're not gonna need to invest $300 billion to make a good fucking game. And maybe it's time we start like investing in more small creators, making smaller teams, not just making like fucking Marathon, man. Like I know I've been out of the game for a minute, so I just got a whole bunch of shit.
Keep it coming, bro. Keep it coming. Let's go.
Pop off for a minute. But like fucking Marathon, like what the fuck is this half-hearted bullshit? Like I get like Bungie, what happened, man? Like what happened? This shit just looks weird. Nobody cares. I get it. Everyone wants the cash service cash grab, but like you're openly creating the animosity of your audience at this point. Like that's all you're reaping. Like you may be taking money out of their pocket, but like half the time they're not even interested in doing these new experiences that you're pushing on us, or we've already fucking done them. And it's like, hey, remember when? I'm going to charge you $80 for that memory. It's just we're just not in a good place. Honestly, I found myself like, especially during like when I've been down and out and I've been playing more, I've been on PC. I've kind of started migrating more and more away from consoles, even with Game Pass. And there's a bunch of games on Game Pass like Adamfall that I'm like, I could still go back and play. But like every time I go to get something on Game Pass, surprise, it's on sale on Steam for rock bottom fucking pricing. So I'm just like, you know what? I may as well just own that shit. So I just like bought Rogue Trader 40K. So I got a backlog of games now for super cheap. And like, it's just once you get in that Steam mindset of like, now I got games and I got games on games on games, and now I don't got to worry about it. It's, I follow Brian of the Wonderland, and like it's truly bountiful here, man. Like it's nice. Also, I want to shout out. I tried these new X3 AR glasses I was talking to Tony about.
Yeah.
They're these like they're using these micro lenses that they use in VR and cell phones to put a virtual quote unquote 201 inch screen from parentheses from 9 feet away. Right over your eyes. And honestly, they work pretty fucking dope. I bought mine on sale for like $219, not sponsored, not anything like that. They went up to like $270, which still ain't a bad deal. But bro, I've been laying straight in bed playing video games, and that shit is awesome. Like, you can't tell me none of y'all have ever just wanted to just straight lay in bed, stare at the ceiling, and play on your Steam Deck or something like that. Like, it's great for that too. And like, picture's great. It's been helping me with my back, so I've been keeping up with the news. I've been listening. I've been hanging out in the background, but honestly, I've been real doped up, you guys. I've been in a lot of pain, so I was even going to come in here and unhinged rant and or come on here and unhinged rant. So this time I came on here and unhinged rant. So I'm still gonna stay for a little while. Probably not the whole thing.
Yeah, that's
stop
why
by on Sunday
yeah.
with y'all too.
Oh, good.
That's why I moved Oblivion up the queue. But I love how, without any prompt, you went through the greatest hits of the news that we covered in the last 2 weeks. And you and Brett, surprisingly, we agree with everything you said. We already said, especially about Marathon. What a soulless fucking cash grab that is, man! Jesus Christ, such blatant.
That one's a weird one because that has history, and they're like absolutely no. They're like, yeah, we have some references to the original games, but you don't need to have played those in order. How about you fucking put out the original games?
They're not gonna do that.
They're not gonna do that. No, Marathon is now this goofy robot game.
Yeah. Ooh, an extraction shooter. You know,
another one.
Another one. You know, so. Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit going on in the industry, man. By the way, real quick, then we'll get on to the other story. Because Brett, you found your joy in gaming with like indie games and PC stuff, right? Me, I found it again with fighting games. Like that's all I'm playing now, and I'm happy as fuck. And I was telling the chat this the other day. I was seriously questioning how much longer I would be like dedicating to gaming. Like I was like maybe I and Throwdown in a couple of years. Like this shit. I was like, I'm coming on every fucking week just complaining about games. I'm not happy. I'm playing maybe 2 games a year. This fucking bullshit. Thankfully, I refound my love with fighting games. So that's keeping me anchored in there. But shit is abysmal right now. So take my what Brett did. Take what I did. Find a specific thing in gaming that you love and stick with it and love it, because all this other shit that's going on, especially AAA gaming, horse shit, you know?
Oh, it's gonna get worse. I'm telling you right now.
It is.
AAA gaming, that shit's gonna collapse. We're gonna have a collapse similar to the one we did when Nintendo collapsed.
Brett,
so it's gonna be even worse.
I think you were here for that when we were talking about the Switch. Shout out to Chris who just joined us. He said this. Okay, this what may happen, right? Remember when Sony introduced $70 games and then everybody started doing it, right? Now what could happen is Nintendo, they're introducing $80 games. If everybody starts following suit, gamers may be like, fuck this, we're done. So in an ironic twist of fate, Nintendo saved the games industry in 1985, and in 2025, they may crash it. And you know what? Brett, keeping it real, there's a part of me that hopes it happens.
We got to break it to fix it. And like here's how it is. Nintendo, they filled the gap, right? Like Sony came at us with $70 games. All right, cool, I guess. Nintendo comes at us like, hey, $80 games. We're like, that's feeling a bit high, but you know, I mean, maybe I can swing that. And they're like, oh yeah, $90 at retail, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. By the way, that's been yourself. That's been
and then
debunked.
GTA says we're going to charge $100.
That's going to happen. Yeah, that's going to happen. I think.
And then you're going to get me too. And like honestly, at that point, we've crept like from $70, $80, $90, $100. Like, what are even game prices anymore? And like, I think that's when the crash is going to happen.
Yeah,
an
actual
GTA
crash.
Will be the final thing that knocks it down. Then people are like, no. Then nobody's going to want to seem like they're going to have a low value game, so they're going to want to charge a premium price for a premium product. The same way Nintendo is being like, oh yeah, our welcome tour is $10 because we put work into it. We think the value is worth that. I was like, really? When you look it up against Astrobot, you think that your shit is really worth an extra $10 to tour your fucking system? Nah, son, nah. And like, I honestly think that after GTA, nobody's going to know how to price a game, and that's going to break some shit.
Yeah, Adam, you're going to say something?
I think we're just going to see the divide. I don't think we're going to see the set standard, because even Nintendo said it, that, Mario Kart, that's 80, but then we saw some of the other prices 70, and they said for third party, it's up to whatever they want to charge. Of course, they're going to put the Nintendo tax on top of that, so maybe 60, 70. Prices are going to be all over the place, and it's going to get to the point where publishers, let's say they have a game, I don't know, another racing or something like that they know is going to be all right, but they know that they can't justify an $80 price tag. So they're gonna have to drop it. We saw that with Ubisoft when they did that with Mirage and stuff. You know, it's like, we'll spit this out at the 50 range. It's not that it's a bad game, but they know that it's not as massive as like what their other offerings are with the higher price range. So they have to, play with the pricing. And I think we're gonna see that. So maybe, if anything, it might be good for gamers, because then it's like, all right, well, as long as it's not across the board the same like what we had 60 forever, right? Everything was 60, 60. And then everyone complaining, oh, there's only 5-hour game, blah blah blah. Well, now when you throw the mark so high of 80, it's like, well, you can't do that for all of them. Even for indie games or games that are like, oh well, it's AAA, sort of, it's AA. We can't do 80. All right, let's find that middle ground, because again, we talked about it, there's gonna be a backlash. People, when they start seeing it already, when I talk to folks in my that I know a lot of other parents and stuff for kids, and when you start saying, hey, what do you think of this 80? 80? What are you talking about 80? I was like, well, Nintendo's talking about, no, forget it. They'll just keep playing what they got. They instantly brush off that. That's such a big number. It's sort of like why a lot of things would always say 99 at the end, $9.99 instead of just $10, $20, $19.99. Because once you put bold numbers like that, it's like, whoa, how much? And when you say 80, that's for a game. People start thinking about all the things they can do with $80.
Motherfucker should leave with 79.
$79.99.
There you go. All right, man. Let's jump into it. And yeah, Brett. Again, if you need to dip out, don't worry about it. Let's talk about Mario Kart, bro. They had.
I was actually. I'm sorry, guys. I'm actually taking my meds now. I'm gonna dip.
All right, man.
Starting to feel better, man.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
Brett.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop in on Sunday, and I don't know if Tony let you girlfriend set up a GoFundMe, so I'll shoot him that link.
Okay.
I'll try and be here on Sunday, and maybe I'll try and sponsor myself or something if any of y'all feel.
Yeah, keep us updated. We can help you out. We'll help you out. The fans will help you out. We got you, bro.
Bro, groceries are fucking expensive, and just
man.
Well wishes are. I just appreciate the well wishes.
That's what I'm saying.
If y'all have some extra shit to kick my way, I'm more than grateful for that too. But
well wishes don't buy
I'll go take
food.
a fistful of pain medication and fall asleep with my new TV glasses on.
There you go. All right, man. We'll be in touch.
All right.
Later.
Peace out, guys.
All right. Brett Murdoch, everybody. Always good to have him on ranting.
Brett coming in with the fire and is like, all right, I'm good. I'm drained.
He spent it and he's good. Yeah, Good. No, I'm glad. So yeah, I'm glad because again, the guys in the Discord were hyped as fuck for this Oblivion remaster, but nobody on the podcast outside of Brett really cares about this. So I'm glad he popped in. All right, let's get into it. Mario Kart World had a big direct today. And Manny, you saw it, so we didn't have to. So what happened?
I mean, it was just some, you've seen this before where they already. Oh, hold on. Hey, Jossie.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jossie.
Love you. They're just, we already knew that the game was all open world. So it's sort of like, it definitely feels, a lot of people have been saying Burnout Paradise, and of course me being an old head and the whole show being old heads, we're thinking Burnout Paradise.
No, Manny, Forza Horizon, you said. That's what people are saying.
Yeah, but excuse me. Yeah, Forza Horizon, we're thinking Burnout Paradise.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so it's sort of like that, where you go to different locations and they have different tracks and different things, and you can take different, like, you don't only need to be you have to travel to your different tracks in order to use them. You can if people are in the, like, because there's an online mode, and you can meet your friends on the track that they're hanging out with. So like if they're on the other side of the map, you can fast travel to them and race with them. It works with the camera, everybody, you can see their face on the on the thing, or you can, like, on the other players, and they kind of animate whenever you hit them with stuff. They have some new items where it's like a giant mushroom that makes you giant. They have all kinds of fun stuff. It looked like, it seems like the next evolution of a Mario Kart game. So it's like, okay, in the previous ones, it's like, okay, hey, we have all these different tracks. So now all the tracks are sort of worked into this world, and you can go around just like, Burnout, and find different hidden things, different skins, different outfits for your characters, all kinds of fun stuff. So I mean, if you're I feel like if you're really into like the Mario Kart world and you like all those things, you know, it'll be a fun experience if you're willing to pay $80 for it. And they also, um, advertise the bundle that they have without an actual cartridge game. um and then I remember seeing the guys in the chat taking screenshots of essentially saying, every single person pretty much saying lower the price.
Yeah, it happened again.
It happened again.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Man, Nintendo's got a whole uphill battle. And is the Nintendo fan base can't like will the Nintendo fan base do as they usually do and just look in the other way and say, hey, it's Nintendo?
Did the pre-orders go live in the States yet?
No.
During that showcase? They still haven't done it.
No, they haven't done it.
The rumor is May 30th, but we'll see. Anybody else?
So close to the release.
Yeah, I mean, like literally 5 days. Yeah. Did anybody else watch this direct?
Yeah, I saw parts of it. I will say it looks good. Like, I mean, I've always been a fan of Mario Kart ever since the first one, but I haven't played like the last one. They reiterated that so many times that I just only played the Wii U version of it. And I think I did play the Switch version as well. But like Manny mentioned, they're taking a Burnout Paradise perspective now. I don't for me, like going old school. For me, it was more like was it a San Francisco Rush?
Oh wow, nice reference there.
There you go.
Like those types of games as well, where you can just drive. It looked like you can drive anywhere. Yeah, this game looks good. I mean, the resolution bump is doing this a lot of favors compared to the previous one. It just looks it looks like it's like a step up of what Mario Kart used to be. So I'll probably play it when I get the Switch too. If I get it, depends on how the scarcity is.
It
Carlos,
depends
did you
on
get-
it depends on your if you're Connect Fergus Mills.
Oh, Fergus Mills, yeah.
Carlos, did you buy the expansion pass? The boost pass, whatever the hell they called it?
The expansion pass.
Yeah. When remember
Switch Online.
No, when it was all
not that?
you had to get the bundle. I paid for it. I got it. It was like $30 or something like that. You got all these other tracks. And there was a lot of remake tracks.
Can you explain that for those of us who don't know what you're talking about? What expansion for what?
For Mario Kart. There was all these
okay.
extra tracks. There's like, I don't know, maybe 16 or something like that. More tracks that they released.
No,
And
I know what you're referencing.
Yeah,
Yeah, like midway through the Switch's life cycle, they did this expansion pass for Mario Kart. It was like their big announcement when people were expecting Mario Kart 9. They just did an expansion of
the whole year. They would just trickle in and have more maps. And it's like I have it and I played it and I still old ones with it. It's just not a big deal. Like I don't know. I like Mario Kart for what it is, but then when it starts trying to be other things, open world and all that, that's not what I want. I want a little kart racer. That's what I liked about it. It wasn't as chaotic as all the other ones that are trying to make things bigger and wider and throw all these other options. And I just want the simple form factor of just going in a car, going on a track, do some jumps and stuff, chase around, and then have a good time. I don't know. I don't think going bigger is always better.
I think you could still do that. You can play it traditionally. They have different modes they showed in this thing. So I think you could still do that. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know if they just...
That was the downfall of the crew. It sounds a lot like the crew, like what you're saying. It's like, oh, you drive around, you go to different parts. Remember, it was a big open world. You go to some areas, you start a race there. Now you're racing in whatever with some other people, meet up with your friends in another part. You know, as opposed to Horizon.
I mean, it could be like...
was all in...
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, it just wasn't as expand like that with your friends. You didn't have like the 16 or whatever big amount, but the crew did. It's in the town. The crew get your buddies together and do that, and it just didn't materialize. Now Nintendo has its crazy fan base, so they could all jump in on it. But I don't know. I'm just not sold on it just yet.
Yeah. I mean, the way I think about it is if I'm vaguely intrigued about it, that means that the hardcore Nintendrons are over the hills over this thing.
Yeah.
So
Well, they'll buy it
I'm
regardless. Even if they weren't, they'll still buy it because they just feel like, well, it has Mario in it, and there's some people that just collect every game that he's in.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, Chris, did you get to see the direct?
No, I didn't. I just heard about the whole drop the price thing, bombing the chats and stuff. But it's I guess it's the natural progression of Mario Kart. They couldn't do deluxe over again. They had to change it up. So why not just copy the open world design of Forza? But my problem is like that's a launch game, and then a month and a half later is Donkey Kong, and that's your 2 exclusives for this year.
Damn.
So that's a problem. Along
What
with
about
the price.
Metroid?
Metroid's not exclusive though.
That's right. It's coming to regular Switch. Oh,
Yeah.
well.
So that they have a big problem, and I think this is there's a combination of a weak launch lineup, just like the 3DS. You're priced too high, just like the 3DS, but you're also kind of having Wii U issues where it's like you have this hardware incongruity, like Nvidia wasn't able to make this APU compatible with the old one. You're running stuff in emulation. There's all these things that are gonna compound and be problems for them. I don't see them resolving it, and I think it'll be a huge mistake if you come out of this, like you said, the end of May, and announce a price increase because of tariffs.
Fuck. Yeah. Just real quick, because I'm getting this off IGN. They said there's some new courses. They showed off characters and new techniques. There's a Grand Prix and Knockout Tour. The free roam. Online. A couple modes, some items, and support features. So, yeah.
The
go ahead.
free roam feature is gonna be huge. I think I'm the only one seeing this because it is gonna be huge. Because Nintendo fans, or at least most of the Mario Kart fans, don't know what a Burnout Paradise is. Don't know what a Forza Horizon 5 is. At least they probably heard of it, but they probably don't know what those games are like.
Yeah.
It's like how like most Smash Bros fans don't know what Tekken is.
Yeah.
Or Soul Calibur.
They live in their own
bubble.
actual fighting games, but continue.
Yes. They live in their own bubble where they enjoy those Nintendo first party games all the time. And if you add a mode that's pretty popular on some of the bigger games from the past, and you add it to this, I feel like it's gonna hit, especially because it's gonna lead to more people staying in the game. Like that free roam thing is cool because you can, like I get flashbacks to me and Tony and Brian when we're doing the Burnout Paradise remaster. We're just rolling in with the cars and stuff, doing all these obstacles and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And races. It was fun. And this is obviously not going to be to that extent, but it's going to be some sort of iteration of it. Even if it's lesser, it's still going to be something new to folks who probably didn't experience Burnout Paradise. So I feel like it's going to be a big hit, that feature for the fans.
You mean the Apple effect? Like
it's the Apple effect. Yeah.
Oh, man, you're
you
probably
gotta copy
right.
and paste.
Yeah, got to copy and paste. Like, oh shit, this feature is awesome. Samsung's had that shit forever. It's crazy. Yep. All right, so there you go. Oh, and also related, that Mario Kart bundle that everyone's talking about? Apparently, it's limited edition.
Oh yeah.
Told you.
Why is it limited edition? All they need to do is just.
Nintendo has done this before.
Yeah, this is artificial
idiotic.
scarcity. They're creating scarcity. So you rush out and get that bundle, and also it's the higher priced version. They're trying to push people towards that SKU.
It's not like even that thing is even any different looking than the other one. It's not like it's anything special. It just comes with a fucking piece of paper that gives you a code.
No, it's all to drive sales. All this is
What the hell?
is you don't how do you have scarcity with the same SKU with a digital code for a game exists? How do you don't run out of them? They're trying to.
Yeah.
It's a psychological trick for people. Like, oh, I need this thing. Then it's limited. No, it's not. It's the same fucking thing. They're just taking away the price cut you would get for Mario Kart with the bundle, right? You'd get the same thing if you bought the $450 one and just bought Mario Kart yourself. It's I don't know. They're just lowballing everyone. I think the tactics for this upcoming generation are sleazy as hell.
No, absolutely. By the way, just when I reading this line, just that's the reason I laughed earlier. The bundle, which consists of a Switch 2 console and a download code for Mario Kart World, like,
Yeah,
bro,
that's it. How do you have scarcity of that?
like Manny said, there's nothing. That's it. It's the
nothing
same
to
console,
be scared.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
a $30 piece of paper, bro.
They're just going to
Yeah.
take away the discount for Mario Kart. That's essentially what they're telling you. The discount is limited.
Yeah. And apparently, yeah, the bundle's going to be sold up until fall. And then it said, that's it. That's all you get. Nintendo has done this shit before. Remember, they did like a limited edition of like some remaster of Mario game. It's like, that's it? It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
go ahead, bro.
And it might seem like it's a dumb tactic to make the limited edition the more expensive one, but if you think about it, and Chris alluded to it, it's actually the cheaper version, because if you're planning on playing the only exclusive release game on launch, Mario Kart Worlds, then if you get the cheaper version plus the game, which is $80, it's technically more expensive. So the one with the game is going to be the limited edition one, and it's going to sell out within seconds of the pre-orders coming out. It's going to create all this hot commotion. People are being like, "Oh, it's sold out everywhere, sold out everywhere, sold out." It's going to make people settle for the cheaper version. It's like, well, at least they get the cheaper console, but then they pay $80 for the game. So that's having their cake and eating it too.
Saving $50, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's still crazy, dude. Yeah. And then this other one, another Nintendo Switch story. So the Switch 2 versions of the Zelda games that are on Switch are getting something we've all actually said these games need: a weapon repair. Finally, right? But this is Nintendo. There's a catch. There's a catch, bro. So you can get weapon repairs in these games, but you need an app for that. I'm not making this up.
What?
Everybody
go on your phone?
Yeah. You have to go on your phone in order to get this. It's insane. So check this out. I'll read this real quick. As spotted in a recent Nintendo Treehouse stream, the Zelda Notes app, a mobile companion app exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2 versions of Breath of the Wild 2 and Tears of the Kingdom, has a daily bonus feature. When the user opens this up, they can roll for a number of in-game bonuses, including helpful meal effects, health and stamina recover, and one labeled equipment repairs. So it's now a thing in these games, but you need this app.
Also, it sounds like it sounds like a loot box. Like it's not just available whenever you want it. You have to roll for it, so there's a chance you won't get it.
Yeah, there's
But
a
you're not
chance. Yep.
paying it for anything though. Right? It's just unless it charges you, they're not charging you for it, right? The app is free, or do you have to pay for the app?
I'm not sure. I don't think you have to.
I mean, they make you pay to take a tour.
Yeah, this is Nintendo. This is also true.
Awesome.
This is true. Yeah, this is what it says here. The daily bonus uses a roulette wheel to randomly select which bonus the player gets. So it's not guaranteed to always hand you an equipment repair.
Yeah, see, this is ridiculous. Oh my God.
The bonus is also daily with built-in timer. You'll have to wait until your next spin. While this may be extremely effective in a pinch, it's unlikely to become a massive game changer. Yeah, so it's insane, bro.
A roulette wheel, huh?
There's a roulette wheel, and you may not get what you want because it's a roulette wheel.
I'm wondering if that's their way around getting some of the content from the amiibos that they're discontinuing.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if those amiibos granted those
Oh
effects.
yeah, is the other report on there too about them not having rollover saves?
No,
Is that one in there too?
this is just about the app. So what's going on with the saves?
So yeah, there is no cloud saves, so you can't roll your saves over.
Womp womp.
If you own a previous version of Breath of the Wild or any of those other games, so you
So
pretty
you
much
have to do a
restart.
system transfer, or that's it.
Yeah, you probably have to do a system transfer or something like that. So you have to have your thing there with you. It's so stupid.
This everything you hear about this console sounds like a fucking disaster.
I
You
feel
know?
like it's. I feel like since Nintendo has not been looking at what all the other guys have been doing, they're literally just falling into all the same pits that Microsoft and PlayStation had fallen over in the 10
Years
to 20
ago.
years.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know.
Well, this happens when you don't look at the competition. Chris has told us about that. You know, like I said, if
Man,
you
it's like
if you don't learn from history, you're gonna repeat it. You know,
It's like this console has nothing but like asterisks next to everything.
Everything.
Oh, can you save this?
Yeah.
Maybe some things. Can I play my other games? Sure, but you can't play these other games. Go
You
to
can
this
only play the
website.
ports.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
it's
one
always
after another.
yes, but
If you want to upgrade, you got to pay us $10.
Yeah. hmm
Mm.
Well, not even upgrade. Even if you just want to play the games that you own, there's on it. It was like you got to pay. They force you to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. This whole thing's looking like a mess. But Nintendo fans will eat it up. You know,
Oh, no, I want to see the regular Joe schmoes.
I feel like
that buy it.
I feel like they. I feel like
I
they
do
hit
too,
the
Adam. I do
sleep-
too. But you know,
Right?
I feel
I
feel
can't
like the
wait.
sleepers have awakened. Like I feel like now it's like, you know, they now they see it, because this reaction wouldn't be as so overwhelming about this. But then again, yeah, we'll see. Maybe you know, the homeboy is still waiting out there in front of Nintendo store, waiting to buy a Switch 2.
We need to know. We'll know the reaction of the normal consumer once we see the commercials for this new device and the price. Because that's it. Like, we know this because we're following all this stuff on the internet. So there's plenty of people that don't even bother. You know, they're like, my kid will get it, I'll buy it, I'll see whatever. They don't even think of these big numbers. Wait till that pops up in front of them on TV. They're going to go nuts. They're going to see it in there, whether on YouTube or wherever they see. They're not going to believe the pricing for this shit.
it's crazy, man. All right. Next story here. And Manny, you brought this to my attention. Phil Spencer says Game Pass isn't for everyone. What is this about?
So yeah, he's in an interview. He essentially said,
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Manny oh, damn, Elgato. Did Phil Spencer got him?
Oh, Phil Spencer's like, no, you don't. No, Game Pass
No,
isn't for
bitch.
you.
"Well, the shit is fine."
Yeah, Manny, you completely cut out. Uh-oh.
Oh,
You may need to drop out and come back in. Phil Spencer doesn't want you to talk, man.
Yeah, no.
oh man,
Yeah.
talking too much truth. Oh come on.
All right, try to talk now. Let's see what happens. So what's happening with this situation?
Am I working? Am I?
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
No.
You're Bobby
I'm good.
Digital.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So in other words, you know, during this interview, he pretty much said, you know, nobody is forcing your hands. You know, the Game Pass is not for everyone. It's for if you, you know. So it's just for like. But what the thing about this is like that drink brings, you know, brought this it came to my attention, and it's like, you know, this wouldn't be the situation if fucking if Game Pass was able to sustain itself.
No, but there's always going to be people that want to own
would-
games. I think that's what he's getting at.
He no, but I'm saying like he wouldn't be saying something like this if this wasn't for everyone. If this was a legitimate push, and that's what it looked like, it was a legitimate push and toward a digital space, right? But their platform can't sustain any of the content that they have, so they have to be a third party studio in order to make any sort of money here.
But he can't
So-
just come out and say it's for everybody, because then you're cannibalizing sales for anybody. You're
Well,
saying
what
no,
do you-
don't
what do you
buy the
mean?
game. That if every game was on there, then yeah, go ahead, say it. But they don't
But
have
then-
every game.
The thing about it is it's like again, like they obviously wanted people to go to this. At some point, they wanted people to be the game platform, but because of their strength in the market, they needed to go third party. If I think if their acquisition of Activision wasn't just the, oh hey, we could get Activision. It's like, no, we want Activision to lock down Call of Duty so we can close the door and that Xbox is the only place you can get it. But now we have to say stuff like it's not for everybody because they don't have the strength. So
I still think I think it would have hurt. They can't do it unless they had all the games on it. If it was one of those, then yeah, they could say it's like, hey, why even bother buying any game? We have them all, and they don't though, and so they can't just say something like that. So I didn't take it that way. I took it as like there's plenty of people out there that want to buy games. I don't know if you saw. Do you have on your list of the big announcement they made today?
What
about Game Pass?
I don't know. What is it?
The two big updates. Well, one of them they're launching that now. They're adding even more games that you own to work on Game Pass through the cloud system.
All right,
so you can you can sign in to your console.
Put a pin on that. Let's talk about that after this, because I didn't know about that. But I want to read this. This is what Phil Spencer said, and the interview was with Variety, by the way. For me, I look at Game Pass as a healthy option for certain people. It's not for everybody. If you play 1 or 2 games a year, Game Pass probably isn't the right business model for you. You should just buy those 2 games, and that would make total sense. But I want you to have the choice. So yeah, and he even went on to talk about how like they're seeing most of their growth in PC and cloud, not really on consoles. So take that how you will. But he says like, if people who are, instead of Game Pass, they just buy their games, like, we still make money, so whatever you want to do, it's fine. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's those two groups. It's not going to streaming and doing subscriptions, not for everybody. Hell, I still know people that buy CDs and records and stuff. They refuse to use Spotify and all those streams. They're like, no, I want my music.
They're smart because of Spotify and all those other programs, they lose the licenses to those things. So you can't legitimately go on any platform and watch every single movie under the sun. And places like Warner Brothers are already cutting down their catalog. So
that's what I'm saying.
That's how it is
for everybody. Yeah, that's how it is. Gotta have something.
Yeah. So Adam, what was that other stuff that was happening with Game Pass? We want to expand on that?
Yeah. 2 things they announced today. 2 big things. One is like I wish they released more info. So they're like, through the app that's on the mobile app that they have, you can now buy games. Well, soon you will be able to buy Xbox games. Now, that was a feature that was there for a while. Then they removed it during that whole scandal of the percentage that Apple was charging, with 33%.
Yeah.
Like that. There was some issues. And then we saw, even with Amazon, with the audio books and stuff like that, you can view the library, but if you want to buy it, it would take you to the website. You can't do it through the app. Well, it's similar to what's with Xbox. You could see the games, but then when you click on it, it would take you to the website. So now they're saying you're going to be able to.
Nintendo does,
but Sony doesn't. You can buy.
Sony. Sorry, Sony.
You can buy it through the app. You don't go anywhere. You click the button. It charges you. You have the game.
Well, it actually does. It actually does have its own web browser inside of the app, and that's how they're doing it. So they have their own browser in there. It looks very similar, but yeah, it's a browser.
Sneaky then, because.
Yeah, it's a browser inside of the app as opposed to throwing you on a website like, somewhere else. It literally keeps it in the app and it has a website.
Well, this didn't have it. Xbox didn't have that feature. It took you out and you went into your browser, or you would even sometimes they tell you go to the website and then you can go and do it. So that's coming. But the big one was with Game Pass. So yes, Game Pass is out there and you could go and get those games. But if you own games, it will then now. They're adding those games to support in the cloud. So when you sign in to your iPad or whatever it is, your device, your TV, right, it will see the games that you own, not just Game Pass. And then if it's on the cloud, if it's some of the games, I think they had like 200 something and adding another 100, then it'll then beam down to your device and let you stream it as if it was like on Game Pass. And they're also offering that on consoles. So if you jump onto a console or your buddy's console and you log in with the profile, then you could do the same thing on the console. So It's letting you on the cloud play games that you actually own and not just being reliant on all the stuff that's on Game Pass. So pretty much letting you bring your game everywhere. And then of course, if there's that method, or you could just use a method of leaving your console on and then remoting in. And that's another thing that they're going to support through the app, just remoting into your console wherever you're at and then play. So they're still making a lot of changes and a lot of stuff to it, trying to build it up. But adding your own games is a cool feature.
Yeah,
Then
the
it's like, well,
ones
I
that you
have
actually
these games.
bought.
Yeah, that you actually bought, and let's say you wanted to play it on your device, and it's like, I don't have to play the Game Pass game, but I just bought the new whatever game, and I do have to go to the other room. Oh, no. If it's supported, if it's there, and they said the plan is they have to deal with a partnership with the publishers to work out an agreement to do it, but I don't think it's going to be a big issue, especially if it's a game that you do own. So it's not like adding the game to Game Pass and then paying them. You own the game.
Yeah.
So if they're willing to do it and let Microsoft put it up in their cloud system, then there you go. And they said that they're adding another 100 or 200 games onto it. And they'll have a little symbol. Your games will soon have a little symbol showing if that is a game that is supported in the cloud.
Okay.
So that way you know that it's like, oh, this game supports cloud-based, and so I can just play it on wherever I'm at on my phone or whatever, TV.
So is this a feature you're excited about?
Maybe it depends. It depends. One of the things, because I use an NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah.
Right. I know a lot of people, if they I love my NVIDIA Shield. That's like the best streaming device. Super powerful. Nothing compares to it. Not even Apple TV. Nobody does it. Because remember, it was supposed to be a console. That was it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was supposed to play games, and no one used it for games. But it's great for streaming because it's so powerful. And anyway, if Microsoft can allow that system to run it, because right now the app doesn't support it. The Xbox app doesn't work on Android TVs.
Yeah.
But they said with this update coming, it's going to support more platforms. They talked about TVs and other things. So I'm hoping that they say it supports on Android. If it does, then that'd be great, because upstairs I have the Series X. Downstairs I have the Xbox One. So then that's when it would become useful. Because then, if anything, I'll just have mine up on, just on the network, and then just, remote play downstairs from my NVIDIA Shield through there. So we'll see. Once it launches, I'll see. I'll test it out if it does work. But I really hope they do that.
So I got a question for Adam.
Uh-oh.
Adam,
Carlos.
we were talking about earlier about Nintendo potentially crashing the video game industry because of $80 games. Isn't Game Pass, Phil Spencer's Uncle Phil Spencer's Game Pass, negate that in a way?
I mean, like for crashing it? Well,
yeah. I mean, if video game prices are going to be the thing that's going to cause the video game ecosystem to crash, or wouldn't Game Pass be sort of like the remedy for that?
It could be, depending on how they promote it. Because that's the thing. Do they want to attack Nintendo? That's what we talked about before. They have this partnership, 10-year deal. They're going to be putting their games on it. It would be great for them to just say, hey, listen, there's $80 games out there right now, but for this $20 a month, you get all these games. I don't know if they'll do that. Now that they have that friendship and that partnership with them, they may not want to do that. And that sucks for them, because this would be the best time to throw that into everyone's face. Be like, hey, look, there are all these games here. Yeah, it's not the Mario game, but all those games that they're bragging like Cyberpunk and other things, and we'll have that on Game Pass if it's not already there. But we have Call of Duty and all these other things. That's not on there. And that's all under this low price, at least low compared to what Nintendo's charging. Plus, a lot of Nintendo, we're talking about the prices, but we're not even talking about what's included for the online service. As opposed, if you pay $20 a month or whatever it was for the Game Pass, that's included with your internet. You're getting the online portion and all these other games. They just have to really figure out a way to market and sell that, because I feel a lot of people still don't know how that works and that you can play it on your phone. We don't see ads for that. right? They don't sprinkle that stuff showing people, on the train taking their phone out. I was like, oh, I'm playing this new game. I play Call of Duty. I really thought when they got that deal with Call of Duty that's what we were gonna see. Commercials of them playing it on their TV, their microwave, VC, whatever they have. That's what they kept bragging, right? Toaster. They said you could play this everywhere, play on the go. Well, I didn't see any advertisements for that. So people don't know what the hell you're talking about. They're like, what do you mean take it on the go? You're not showing anything. So yeah,
Is the most recent Call of Duty on xCloud?
On Game Pass. It's on. Yeah, well, it's on. If you own it, it's there. But also, it's on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass. Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
No, well, that's okay. Because I guess that's two different questions. Because some games you need to download them and install them to play. Some you can actually stream. I wasn't too sure about Call of Duty.
No. With the Call of Duty, that was the big one. Play this everywhere. Play this here. Play this there.
Oh,
but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't run well on those other things. That's why they weren't doing it, or maybe they didn't want to promote other devices like tablets and things like that. Because besides the Surface, I mean, everything else is either an iPad or an Android, Samsung. Yeah. But it's tricky. But they definitely should be able to market and push as the alternative, because I don't think this is just me thinking. I don't think that. Yeah, we saw everybody jump up with 70 when Sony said, but that was just it feels like a year ago, but I know it's like 2 years ago that they did that. And then to go to 80, that's a tough, especially in this current climate with the economy and the way things are. And that's the last thing people are worried about is getting their games in their consoles. They're thinking about food and the prices of goods and things like that. You saw recently everyone's scrambling to buy stuff because they're scared of how much things are going to be, how much they're going to cost down the road. So this is a bad time to jack up the price. Yeah, go ahead, release a console. People are ready for that. But people still haven't swallowed the pill of $70. You're going to hit them with 80? They're like, no. You know what? I'll just keep playing this, or I'll play a different game, or I'll go to a different service. People will look for an alternative. There's a break point. Yeah. And I think if everything's going around now, this is that point.
No, yeah, that's a great point. I mean, it might not be video games, but something has to be the breaking point, because, damn, I went to the freaking grocery store the other day. I spent almost $200.
But you alone? What the hell are you eating?
Well, I bought eggs, I bought toilet paper, I bought what do you call that? The hand paper thing.
Yo, we're kind of going off the rails now if we're talking about just general economy, bro.
No. He's just talking about. I'm curious how he spends. A single man pays. I don't even spend $200.
Well, it's for like 2 weeks. But the point is, like, everything is going up in price and it's crazy. And is video games going to be the point where people just are gonna like
usually entertainment gets cut, right? Usually it's like, we're gonna cut back on movies,
subscribing and not buying
Prime services. Yeah. They start cutting back because they can live without those things, food and stuff, or paying your rent, paying your bills, your car payments, whatever. You have to do that. So the first to go is always entertainment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
mostly.
That's impressive. $200, bro. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I'm curious about you. Tony, because I know you don't eat out a lot. What's your average?
For like groceries?
Yeah.
Like $45. It's not too bad.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what the hell? You make a lot of meals, Carlos? You cook?
Yeah. Well, I get steaks. I get like
well, there you go.
Worth of steaks, chicken.
Yeah. All right.
Yo, you eating rich people food?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yo, bro. I buy them fucking like pre-prepared chicken patties and shit, some French fries, shit you can just put in a stove, that's ready in like 20 minutes, I'll be honest, I don't fucking cook. I make eggs, like I boil them. That's the most cooking I do. Yeah, fuck that shit. I don't have time, bro. I'm tired after work, Plus, like if you buy all that shit, which is actually probably good for you, it just costs a lot of money. So I'm like, instead of buying,
I just told you $200.
Yeah, $200. It is a lot of money. I'm like, how about instead of like buying actual chicken patties, I just buy the Purdue, breaded patties or whatever the fuck. They're $5.
I
Now,
eat
those
like
are
I'm starving.
if you eat those a lot, those are bad for you, like really bad for
Oh,
you.
yeah, I
Um,
eat those all day. I'm like,
They're really
I'm not
bad.
cooking this shit,
I
you know?
have a
Yeah, you got
banana
grilled
for
chicken is
breakfast,
better.
Yeah. Yeah, but you got to
oatmeal
cook it.
for lunch, can of seltzer. I drink coffee, and then that's it. My only real meal is dinner that my wife makes. But it's like I've trained my body to live like I'm on the Never Can Never from the Matrix. I just eat oatmeal. That's it. Yo, I'm swearing. That's all I eat.
you make
My
you the
kids are like,
battery?
that's it. I have a. I'll take a picture on Saturday when we get groceries. I just have a shelf full of just oatmeal, and that's it. That's all I eat. I get 2 little packies. I put that in. And that's my lunch every day. You know, with a banana and a can of seltzer. Like I don't. I eventually trained my body because then when I eat anything else, I get stomach aches. I can't eat anything. If I tried, sometimes the guys at work's like, "Oh, we're gonna go out to eat something." I'm like, "Okay." Next, you know, my stomach's killing me because it's like, "What is this? You're putting too much food in here."
Better
It's like,
Better
yeah, better
why?
why?
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, we go off the track there. All right, moving on. Adam, I picked a story specifically for you. Division 3 Brooklyn DLC's coming. Are you hyped?
told you.
They're back in
I
New
told
York.
you guys.
Back in New York.
We're all excited, at least people in the Division community. You know, Rogue Gold, shout out to Rogue Gold. He's still one of the OG YouTubers everybody's already moved on from the Division and cover other shit. Not this fool. He's still covering Division. He's still doing new builds. He's constantly talking about all this news. He's scrambling. He's sticking to it. Gotta respect of somebody that just sticks with something.
So, Adam, there's going to be a reveal stream in late April.
Yeah, because they keep pushing it back. This was like over a year ago.
Yeah.
This was supposed to come out, and they had issues in development, and we saw they were posting up ads on LinkedIn. They needed new developers and blah, blah, blah. Then, of course, the new manager of the whole operation gave a speech about the future of Ubisoft and the IPs and the franchises, and they said they had faith in the Division. Remember, that was it. They were going to push it hard. So that they were eventually going to work on a 3rd division. That's great, but you still haven't finished Division 2 stuff. Where's Brooklyn? So now we're getting it. Right. There was first talks about March. That didn't happen. It's come and gone. So now hopefully this window. But we don't know. We don't know what's in it, how expansive. I hope it is to the point that they have other neighborhoods in Brooklyn and maybe there's a train that you can take, whether above ground or even if it's underground. Then they could trick us. They could just grab the subway system that was in Division 1 and put it into Brooklyn because it's subway tunnels. That's it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It'll be fine. You can just change up some of the paint. Doesn't matter. Throw Bergen Street or whatever, Smith's 9th Street, key locations of Brooklyn and the subways. It'll be fine. But I'm really hoping that it's expansive and it's not a half-ass. Where it's like, oh, you're in Brooklyn, and then you run 2 blocks one way, you hit an invisible wall. You go 2 blocks the other way, you hit a barrier. I'm like, no. Don't lock me down. I want, just like how we had in Division 1, that whole Lower Manhattan experience. That's what I want in Brooklyn. And we don't know. We don't know where it is. If it goes, I know. Remember, we played the Coney Island one.
Yeah.
We did that. But
that's Brooklyn.
That's Brooklyn. Yeah, that's Brooklyn. So we just don't know what part of Brooklyn is this one going to be in. We'll see.
It looks like Williamsburg because there's the bridge right there, the Manhattan Bridge. Yeah.
Oh, that was also in Division 1. Remember when you do the first mission? People don't know that could be a trivia question right there for video games. It's like, oh, where do you start off with in Division? Everyone thinks Manhattan. Like, oh,
no, it's not.
So you weren't. You start in Brooklyn, and then you get on a helicopter that takes you to the city.
Yep.
But that's the only time, and you can never go back.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you're finally going to be able to go there. Because that iconic scene, that iconic shot of the bridge is right there.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's forever. And I was like, shoot, that'd be great if you could take the bridge.
Well, now I don't know if you could take the bridge, but you're going to be in that area. Oh
man, if they could merge it, that would be awesome. If they just say, we're gonna merge it. It's lower. It's a Dumbo in that area of Brooklyn, but then you see the bridge, and they say, oh, can I take it? Yeah, and it'll throw you right downtown. And they just add that map. You already have the mapping out from Division 1, and just combine them. That would be awesome. I would love it. That's or if there's a train that you can take, or just a tunnel, and you just walk down the tunnel, and they'll take you back to Lower Manhattan.
Yeah.
And next you're in Division 1. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I jumped back in about like 2 weeks ago get all these updates and stuff.
Yeah.
And man, I felt like the voice of God. Like, what the hell is this? I felt so lost. Yeah, all these things are popping up. It was like I almost like as if it was like a bunch of ads, you know, because like, but it was just telling me all the different changes. Oh, we upgraded this. Your watch now tells you this. Now there's another provisioning tier system to upgrade to, and like all this stuff. I was like, all right, I can't. This, I just want to grab my gun and shoot shit. Can I do that part? That's it. Just play it like a GI Joe.
Okay.
Cartoon. I just want to go and shoot the bad guys in the face. But I'm excited. And I think they announced it is going to be paid DLC.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be free. So.
But we'll learn more on April 23rd, so we'll definitely come back to you with that. 'Cause I know you'll be watching with bated breath.
I'm gonna be on that shoot. Yeah, I might even call out of work just to really focus. I'm excited.
Lock in, man. All right. More Ubisoft news, and I'm going to consider this the weekly Ubisoft L. It isn't, but I'm going to consider it the Ubisoft L of the week. Ubisoft is making another battle royale game. This one inspired by Apex Legends. That sounds like an L right there to me, Adam.
They will keep trying until they hit one, or at least get one that's semi-decent. I feel like they all do it. We see everybody with that, or what was the other one that we were just talking about? That what did they call it?
Marathon?
They had a name for it. Yeah, what was the trigger thing that they said? It's extraction.
Extraction shooter. Yeah, extraction shooter.
They're all trying to do this. They're all trying to find one that sticks, that everyone jumps to, and they won't give up, because then that's them failing, admitting that they failed. They're going to keep trying, and they need to move away from this. And hopefully, Tencent and the people there just like, we're not going to do that with the games that we're controlling.
Yeah,
that's all I'm hoping.
But again, so this is still not official yet. So make of that what you will. According to Insider Gaming, which is Rich's favorite website, because Tom Henderson is there. Ubisoft's next battle royale game is it's codenamed Scout, and it has been in development for a few years already. Its characters are said to be similar to Apex Legends' Pathfinder, Wraith, and Lifeline. If that means anything to you, there you go.
Division Resurrection has been in development for years, and that's still so. Some of these games may never come out. They may
exactly
talk about it, but they never come out.
Yeah. So this one may go the same way. May not come out. But yeah, there you go. Is anybody excited? Fucking bullshit.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I am excited for a game.
It is the greatest game that is going to be created.
I'm clipped.
Oh
Talk
my God.
amongst yourselves.
I'm so clipped.
Yeah.
An Apex Legend made by Ubisoft, the greatest.
I'm still waiting for Deep Down.
Oh man! All right. Go ahead.
Wait, did they say anything about the Black Flag?
No, this is just about the battle royale game.
Oh, I thought it was that we're announcing some, because you said the Division stuff. I wasn't sure if they linked all.
No.
Together.
Those are two separate stories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Black Flag. Are they bringing that back now?
Oh, remember, there's two of them. We're getting the remastered, and then we're getting some other edition.
Wow.
So
they're getting
desperate.
desperate.
I had no dates. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I think you're talking. You're muted.
Sea of Thieves is getting the ability to get off your ship. Remember?
Oh, there you go. Crazy. All right. This last one here. It's actually movie related, but it's a video game movie, so it's fine. And I'm also going to consider this one an L. Remember the Borderlands movie, the one that flopped?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, the director is blaming Carlos's favorite thing. Carlos, remember what that was? What your favorite excuse for why this game did do that well?
Was it COVID?
Yes.
I told you.
What does it have to do?
Basically,
what did that have?
he's saying that since they had to do so much communication over Zoom because of COVID, the movie turned out the way. Which is funny because there's a bunch of other successful movies that were made under the same conditions. How about, dude,
Like
take
Top
that,
Gun.
like Top Gun. You know, like fucking Oppenheimer and Barbie and all these other successful movies.
All of them, yeah.
How about this? Spider-Man, a lot of movies. So no, it wasn't Zoom. It wasn't COVID. It was that your movie was fucking horse shit. Just take the L, bro.
Yeah, where
And even
are all the
Minecraft is
guns?
doing really good.
Yeah.
all Minecraft is. I'm
Well,
going to go see it
Forget the
tomorrow.
guns. What's up with that
Thanks for
cast?
the invitation.
Who fucking cast these people?
Yeah.
I don't
Like
know.
Kate
Yeah,
Blanchett is like 90 years old. And
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
Kate
you're gonna play this
Blanchett,
character.
fucking Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, what are these fossils, these dusty women doing this fucking game movie? Like, doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
I
and they're
wasn't sold on
playing-
Kevin
and they're-
Hart playing a serious character. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah, Kevin Hart. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not comic relief in this. He's supposed to be serious, and it's hard to take him serious. That's the thing. But that you can't. That can't be a valid reason for, because the whole thing with Borderlands is loot.
Yeah.
And all the crazy guns. There was none of that in this game. Where's all the
And
chests that you can go and open? None of it.
They're
Well,
crazy.
it's not the game; it's the movie. But you know,
No, but it should. That was a big
doesn't-
part of the game.
Yeah,
It
Yeah,
was that,
the loot,
and that's what
yeah,
people
loot.
want. Yeah, and wacky guns and shooting craziness. That's what people were expecting, and you didn't have that. So
And they had a tiny Tina that was in there that didn't do it. You know.
no, she didn't. She phoned it in. It didn't give me that vibe. She definitely wasn't the wacky one that we're familiar with. And they could have had somebody just as crazy. Just get somebody loopy. No,
And Claptrap being played by Jack Black as opposed to
Yeah.
being played by the original actor. People like Claptrap, but you know but that studio doesn't like that guy who played him.
yeah, he had issues with them.
He
Apparently,
had
they
Oh,
fired him
man.
or some stuff.
So there you go. I just bring it up because it's a fucking retarded ass excuse.
So are they
Well,
gonna
you
make
know-
another one? Are they gonna make
Probably
another
not. This
Oh,
one bombed.
Oh, this
It
one-
bombed.
No, I know, but
This
it depends.
It's movie history.
Yeah, it's done. No, they're not going to make this into a franchise anytime soon. A movie franchise. This shit
There'll be
bombed.
another Waterworld before this.
Yeah, exactly.
Another Borderlands.
This
Oh,
shit
Waterworld.
bombed, bro. Didn't bomb as hard as Snow White, but it bombed.
Oh man, there was a little person. Was it Matt McCarthy? It's a little comedian actor, and he was fuming everywhere. He was going everywhere. He's like, now they're taking my jobs away.
Yep.
He was like, what is up with it? Why do you think you're helping me? You're not helping me by saying, oh, we can't have little people. He's like, little people need to work too.
Well,
Yeah.
that's because Peter Dinklage had to open his mouth.
Kind of fucked up that he got endured, that he kicked the ladder down behind
Yeah.
him, you know?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what he did.
Yep.
He got in the door and kicked the ladder down because it's like, you know, not everybody is Peter Dinklage, and you know there other little people depend on these roles. So now you just replace. You know, anytime there's anytime there's a little person role, it's all got to be a goofball CG piece of garbage.
Yeah.
And before in Snow White, it was gonna be those weird like. They looked like a bunch of hippies.
Yeah. By the
They
way,
had-
though, that was kind of misconstrued. They are actually in the real movie, but they're not the Seven Dwarfs. They're just some bandits or some shit, you know. But people went
Time
crazy.
Bandits. Remember that movie?
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
Time
love
Bandits.
Wait.
All the
So
little
there,
people.
so just so happened to be seven dopey bandits.
Yeah,
following
crazy,
her?
right? Yeah, but no, they're actually
Oh,
bandits
come
or
on.
something. Because the prince in this movie is in some kind of fucking bandit gang. Stupid,
Okay,
you know.
whatever.
And people wonder why I don't watch fucking movies anymore. You know, fucking retarded.
I mean, you wouldn't have
ass
watched.
shit.
You wouldn't have
Trash.
watched a Snow White movie regardless. Anyway,
This is true. This is true. But still, you know.
Well, you know what we would have watched if it wasn't trash? A Captain America movie?
Yeah, and
No,
a Fantastic
Marvel wasn't-
Four. You want to talk about
Yeah.
bad casting? I'm sorry, Pedro Pascal is not fucking Reed Richards. I will not buy that for a second. I'm more willing to accept Shia LaBeouf as the Silver Surfer over him. You know, it's fucking insane, man.
Somebody else, the dude from Rich, you know, and Carlos, the dude from Walking Dead, Andrew Lincoln. I think he auditioned for that, and that makes more sense. Tall, skinny, lanky guy. That makes
Yeah,
more sense.
but no, we can't have that.
I don't hear that accent.
Yeah, Yeah, but yeah, we're not going to get into that. Anyway, last thing here, we want to talk to you about some games we've been playing. Rich, you embargoes have lifted. We could talk about some stuff now, man.
That
That is a phenomenal question.
Yeah. So, if you go to the Coalition's website right now, Coalition with a K, you can see Rich's excellent review of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle for the PS5. So, Rich, do you want to share your thoughts with the people? There he is.
Testing 1 2. Can you hear me clear?
Yep. We hear you perfectly, actually. Very crisp.
All right, excellent.
Yep.
All right, so Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I think it's a fantastic game. I, of course, don't have a PlayStation 5 Pro, so I don't know about the PS5 Pro. Tony can cover that, but I will just say it's a fantastic game. It was a fantastic game when I reviewed it on Xbox back in December. And I do want to make a comment because I have noticed after reviewing this version of the game, now people are like, oh, well, first and foremost, they obviously didn't know that I reviewed this on Xbox, which I thought is very interesting because, we spoke about it on here on the show. I've been posting the reviews on the website, but it feels like, and I will also give a shout out to Machine Games and Bethesda because they clearly was very excited about this game coming to PlayStation 5. They couldn't wait to announce when it was coming. You saw that there was an announcement about the release date, which I believe that was under an embargo as well. So they were very excited to bring this to PS5. But I will say, yes, it is a great game. You definitely should play it. As I mentioned before, it's better than any of the recent Indiana Jones movies. All right. So hands down, phenomenal game. So I definitely recommend checking it out. But I definitely want to hear what Tony has to say about the PS5 Pro features because Tony has a PS5 Pro and a 4K TV. So,
and before I get to that, I do want to kind of comment on what you said. Okay. So when this game was originally announced for Xbox, right? You saw the ponies on Twitter going ham, making fun of this game, shitting on it. And I said on Twitter and on the show, I said, you guys are looking really dumb because this is coming to PlayStation. You're shitting on a PlayStation game, right? But now, Rich, what's happening? Now they're loving this game all of a sudden. Now it's fantastic. These guys,
amazing.
Yeah, these guys are acting exactly the way we thought they were going to be. It's fucking insane, but not surprising, Hands down, you already know what it is. Yeah, Reggie, let's go. Reggie, I give that statement a thumbs up. Unlike the Fantastic Four, I give that a huge thumbs down. Trash. But not this game. This game's not trash. So some of the features. By the way, I got to toot my own horn a little bit sometimes. I wrote an article, just to because I'm not going to review the game again. We don't do that at Tom's Guide. We had already reviewed the game. So I just wrote an editorial just about the main features. And the headline was, I just played Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on PS5 Pro, and it's so much better than on Xbox Series X. And it is true. Because you get a lot of nice enhancements. Oh, and before I go into that, again, bird memory people. Like one guy, I posted that story on Twitter. They were like, I thought you had already played this game, but I'm glad you're enjoying it on PS5. I'm like, yeah, I did play it, bro. In the article, the first sentence literally said, I've played this game before, now playing it again on PS5. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? The first fucking paragraph, I say I played this.
Yeah, well, they're only looking at the headline.
Yeah, they're like, am I bugging? I thought you played this already. Yes, and if you read the fucking article, I tell you that.
Yeah.
It's insane. Anyway, so you get native 4K resolution, 60 frames. I don't have a frame counter for PlayStation, obviously, but looks smooth as fuck. Get some nice ray tracing going on. What I will say about the visuals, because remember I played on PC. The settings, they weren't all the way to the max and shit because this game could be a little demanding. But I basically played at 1440p and then my TV upscaled to 4K. But overall, I would say this looks about as good, with all those effects and stuff looked really, really nice. The performance obviously was really good. Very fast loading. Like it was faster than my fucking SSD in my PC. But obviously my PC has to handle a lot more shit than just a game. Loading was fast, and I really enjoyed the DualSense features. Like for example, like the lighting and stuff. Like if an enemy is like kind of spotting you, like the lights will blink like yellow and shit, kind of warning you. And when your health gets low, it's red. Then when you take a consumable, it'll like flash green for a little bit and then go back to normal. That's really cool. And then obviously, if you throw your whip out, you kind of feel the resistance. I think the regular PS5 has that as well, which is really fun, But the game's great. Again, I liked it before on PC, like it on PS5. I definitely suggest you check it out, because it's a lot of fun. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Rich, are there any other games that you want to talk about that were embargoed and that currently aren't?
Well, a quick thing. I want to say what you said about the DualSense.
Yeah.
I agree 1000%. That is also there for the regular PS5. And I do want to put a message out to Sony, even though they will never hear this. We need to see more DualSense support in their own games.
Yes.
Because obviously Astrobot, that was fantastic. So this game is great. But yeah, this needs to be a feature they really utilize with more of their first party studios, because it's ridiculous. You got these guys coming in and making full use of all the features on PS5. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah. Oh, and real quick,
it's
go ahead.
People turn those off. That was the thing.
So what?
At least for the multiplayer, people turn those features off because it hinders the multiplayer experience. Like that was one of the things. Like I loved it when they did that in Cold War, because I played that on the PS5 when they had that. I'm like, oh, this is great. Every gun felt different. But when you have multiplayer and you're playing, and people are just doing quick shot, people are like, how are you doing it so fast? Well, they're turning that shit off because you don't have that.
You don't have that resistance. Yeah, I remember people complaining about that.
So they're turning it off. So yeah, it's a feature that may work, for offline and stuff. But when all these companies are trying to push online multiplayer, play with it, and people don't want it because it slows down performance, turn it off.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. By the way, the other thing I want to say about this, like on PS5 Pro, it's just 4K 60. You don't have to choose between fidelity and fucking performance. So I appreciated that, But Rich, the regular PS5 version does have ray tracing as well. So either way, on PS5, you're getting a really good package. And Rich, we should thank the Xbox users for beta testing this game.
Yes.
Funny,
Okay.
man. Yeah. So what are some other games you've played that you can now speak on?
So I will say this. Obviously, Tony and I have been playing Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Fantastic collection. And the funny thing, and you obviously some people may be surprised to hear this. I have never played Project Justice. I have never played Power Stone 2, and I definitely didn't play Plasma Sword. I'm like, what the hell is this game? when I saw it for the first time. So it's really cool to play all of these other games, because I can see where the inspiration came from with other fighting games and how certain things from that particular time period to now. So, but yeah, the collection is fantastic. Obviously there are 6 games that we were able to play. We can't play the other 2. We can't even say anything about the other 2 yet because it was a preview that we have been playing. But yeah, I'm enjoying that a lot. Obviously, Capcom versus SNK 1 and 2, fantastic. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper, great. So yeah, but no, and of course I did play Power Stone 2. Yeah, I mean all these games, I'm having a great time. So I did do a preview for that. I know Tony is going to talk about his experience as well.
Yep.
But one other thing I will mention very briefly. One other game that I can talk about is this game called Bionic Bay.
Ooh.
It is. Now, this game obviously went under the radar because it came out today amidst all the other stuff that came out today, because there's a couple games that are out today. This is a puzzle platformer game similar to like a Limbo. But it is about a scientist. It's this experiment. There's this massive explosion that happens. You're playing as a scientist and you're navigating through these different biomes. The game is fantastic. This is again a indie game. I did review it on thecoalition.com. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. The game is fantastic. It feels just like a Limbo game, but obviously it's a lot more things you can do in terms of gravity. And as you're traversing through each level, it's just there's different tools that you have as a scientist that really changes the thing. Like, for example, they have this tool that's like a swapping tool where you can hit an item and then you can switch places with that item. And just imagine you're navigating through a stage, you'll come to an obstacle that requires using the swapper and then going back to your normal self, so on and so forth. It's a lot of that back and forth. But it is a fast-paced game. You literally can run through stages. It should take you about 10 hours to finish. But you literally can run through a stage, and there's stuff to explore. There's secrets, all types of things. So I definitely will recommend checking out that game. It's only $20, people. And one other comment that I do want to make, because I know you guys made the comment earlier about the $80 Mario Kart game, in which Adam already said he is definitely pre-ordering this game ASAP. Let me just make a comment. I do believe there are some games that will be $80 or whatever, but again, a lot of games out there, they offer a ton of content and they're not even $80. For example, this game that I have been talking about that's coming out next week, the Claire Obscure Expedition 33, that is a turn-based, the Japanese-style turn-based RPG. That game is $50 and there's 30-plus hour campaign. So you see what I'm saying?
Prices across the board, different prices.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that $80 thing, I don't think that's a guarantee for every single game, but obviously I am curious to see how it impacts the market moving forward. But those are the only games I can talk about for now. I can't really say anything about some other stuff that I've been playing, but I will be able to talk about that soon.
Yeah. Going back to the Capcom Fighting Collection, I'm pretty sure some of you guys are like, wait a minute, why can't you talk about Power Stone? Because we just can't. That's just how NDAs work, people. Which is ironic because that is the only game of this collection that I played before.
I played that on Dreamcast. That was
So I can't give you my thoughts on Power Stone in this collection. I can talk about Power Stone 2. I didn't like the game back then, and I still don't like it. It's like
you don't like kicking furniture. You don't like kicking furniture around?
No, I don't like that Smash Brothers bullshit they pulled with the second one. Where it's like 4 guys fighting, running around. Like, the first game, fantastic. I loved it back in the day. Great game, but the second one, not doing it. Not feeling the rainbow. And then as far as Plasma Sword is one of those games I only know about because Hayato from Marvel vs. Capcom is in it. That's all I fucking know. What, Tony? You mean he's from Plasma Sword? But that's the only way I know this guy. That was really cool. I enjoyed that. I played Project Justice. Here's the thing. I played Rival Schools at Manny's place, but I never played Project Justice.
I had both of those.
Yeah.
Rival Schools and Project Justice.
I don't remember playing Project Justice, but I remember playing Rival Schools a lot.
Project Justice is just a bigger version of Rival Schools. It's pretty much with more characters, more extras, and stuff like that. That's pretty much all it is.
Also, in case you guys are wondering, because Rival Schools, obviously the sequel to Project Justice sequel to Rival Schools, and Plasma Sword is actually a sequel itself. Those games the original games were not made on the Naomi board, right? So there's some like kind of weirdness getting those games. So you just get the Naomi games for this collection. The Capcom versus SNK games. I remember I didn't play them back in the day because it was more like, why didn't you have these 5 years earlier? And also, this was still back in the day. Money was tight. It's like, am I going to buy Capcom vs. SNK or am I going to buy Marvel vs. Capcom 2? I'm going to buy Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Street Fighter Alpha Upper, very interesting about that because I played a version of that game on PlayStation 2. It was like the Street Fighter collection, the Street Fighter Alpha collection, and it was just had everything, like all the characters and stuff. So this one's kind of like that. Street Fighter Alpha 3 is not my favorite Street Fighter Alpha. My favorite one is 2.
Same.
Fucking great. And part 1 is still really good too. But Street Fighter Alpha 3, I didn't like it. I don't like the music. I don't like the whole, and I know it's become standard now. The whole throwing with 2 buttons pissed me off back in the day. Didn't really care for that. But I will say this
Was
about
that already in the other collections though? I could have swore I played
Street Fighter
that.
Alpha 3 Upper. This is this is the one with all the characters. You know, but anyway, going back to Capcom vs. SNK, I never played them back in the day. I played them now. They're fucking awesome. They are, especially Capcom vs. SNK 2. It is so mechanically dense. I'm gonna have to look at videos of how to do. I'm looking at all this terminology. I don't know what the fuck any of this shit means. You know, they have basically 6 different fighting styles. 3 Capcom styles, 3 SNK styles. Then there's some routes and shit. Lots of stuff going on. But man, I'm having a blast. But I will say this little bit of a controversial statement. Everybody rightfully loves the sequel of Capcom vs. SNK 2. But just like with me and Marvel vs. Capcom games, I like the first one better because the second game has, just like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, has those 3D backgrounds and stuff. They're better than in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but I still think it's corny. But the first game had those great fucking pixel art backgrounds. And not only that, every background had an intro. There's one where you see these cars running through the road and shit. They fucking crash, explosion, and then it zooms in. You see the characters fighting in front of a fire, and then there's another one.
That's a very SNK sort of thing.
Yeah, but I'm they don't have any of that in the second one. It's just 3D background. I'm like, come on, Manny, where's the personality? And then there's this other background which I fucking love, and this is a background I've admired for decades now because I've obviously know about these games. You're fighting in an alley and there's spotlights on you. You see the shadows on the fucking walls and shit. Love the presentation. Pixel art, these 2 games, like Rich said in his review, they're the reason you're buying this shit. Capcom vs. SNK, fucking amazing, and I hope we get a third one. By the way, there's a little hint in there about another game I'm reviewing, but I can't talk about. But there may be some SNK characters in it. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, get this collection. Also, just like the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, you get the full features. Basically the menus are exactly the same. You get the same tweaks and stuff. Also, this week they updated Marvel vs. Capcom so you could actually make the resolution better on some of the games. That's coming over to this one, which is going to be cool. You get the same kind of gallery stuff, unlockables, really good stuff.
One too. And the old one got the versus mode update too.
Which is the older one?
So the Capcom Fighting Collection.
Yes, it did.
It got not only did it because what was it? This one's 3 or is it 2?
This is the second one.
Yeah. So the first one got
with Darkstalkers
stuff to it as
yeah,
well. Yeah. It got a bunch of fixes on that one too.
Yeah. So. Also, and I may still write an article about this. These games really kind of remind me of the glory days of the Dreamcast, because all these games were available on Dreamcast, and especially the 3D games in this, just have that. Because remember, Dreamcast was on Naomi as well, so it had that. The 3D games have that Dreamcastness to them. It just brings me back to that. But obviously, the 2D games really fun on Dreamcast as well. Really well done collection. I wanted to spotlight this real quick because somebody asked Maximilian Dude, hey, are they going to go back and fix Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection? And he said they probably won't because that was made by a third-party company. The collections Manny and I have been talking about have been made in-house by Capcom. That one wasn't. That was made by another studio. So he's like, wait for the 40th Anniversary Edition, which it's going to come. Let's just be honest here.
4, yeah. I want to get Street Fighter 4 1, 5. Come on now, at least 4. I wasn't too crazy about 5, but
Well,
4,
you could just
4 was
buy
pretty good.
Ultra, can't you? You know.
Yeah, but I want the whole package, even on PC and stuff. You know.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Like, yeah, 5, not really so much. We can skip that. But yeah, so and the game drops on May 16th, the day after Doom, The Dark Ages, the day after Manny's birthday. So
happy birthday,
yeah,
be 26.
You know. So yeah, Rich and I will have a full review of that. We could tell you about Power Stone, and you know, the less said about Capcom Fighting Jam, the better. I think I know why they don't want us to talk about that fucking game. I can say because nobody likes that. It is not good. Look at videos. There's a reason why that game was the last fighting game Capcom put out for years. Because not good. Like basically, you had that game like 5 years, and then Street Fighter 4 comes out and revives the whole genre. That game was
and the director of it was your boy Ono-san.
It was Ono-san. Isn't that something like the guy who made the bad game? You know.
Yeah.
And again, that's not a judgment on the collection. It's a judgment on that game from what I know about it. Ugh. What is up with those backgrounds so ugly? You know. By the way, off topic, man, did you see that little Fatal Fury anime thing they put out? Looks pretty cool.
I said the animation doesn't look very good on it, but these draftsmanship of the drawings of the characters look nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I believe this is the same studio that made the similar anime for King of Fighters 15. They have the same kind of opening intro. You know, looks great. Looks great. All right. And since we're talking about games we're playing, Adam, what have you been playing lately?
Still playing The Last of Us Part 2 remastered on Steam Deck. Still enjoying that. Going through. It's like the story, of course, as we get crazy. The second part, no one wants to talk about it, and then we'll talk about that later on when I start talking about stuff that I'm covering with the show. But I like the gameplay. I just like Last of Us. I just like the whole sneaking around, picking up items, getting behind clickers, stabbing them in the neck, step. You know, and just having fun with it. I love that world. I just love it. It's the Walking Dead game I always wanted, and I never got. So this is as close as it gets. It's fun. It's a fun game. Doing all that crafting, getting your weapons, and throwing Molotovs, throw a bottle, collect everyone around and just set them on fire and see them running and burning. It's a fun one. So that, and I'm still playing my FC game, and that's it. Play the games that you like. Still playing some of the Yakuza Pirate. It's another game with all kinds of craziness. So those are the games I'm playing.
Oh shit! Hey Manny, that animation was actually done by the guy who did the Fatal Fury movies, the animated ones.
It was directed by him.
Yeah, Masami Obari. I'm like, oh shit, cool. Anyway, that's a side thing. What else are you playing, Adam?
Well, that was it. Those are the 3 games. The Last of Us Part 2 on Steam Deck, my FC game, still playing my footy ball, and then Yakuza Pirate.
Yeah. All right, Carlos, you playing anything besides Monster Hunter?
No, that's it.
That's all you
Monster
need.
Hunter. That's all we need until Doom comes out.
Yes, Doom.
So, having fun playing that with the fellas. And we'll probably, Tony will probably plug something later on in the show about that. But yeah, having fun playing Monster Hunter. When does Doom come out?
Doom comes out May 15th.
May 15th. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I got a chance to play it before I
your next vacation.
Yeah.
Carlos is always going on vacations, man.
But that's gonna be like the same time when freaking Elden Ring comes out, so same day too, which is crazy.
That's funny. Chris, you playing anything besides Monster Hunter?
There was an add-on to Pacific Drive, so I was trying it out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they added some expeditions and challenge mode, so I was playing that. But I have very little time for it. I played for like maybe an hour or something this week, and I just been so busy. But Yeah, I mean, I love that game. I know. I
I
think
have,
Brian's the only other person who played it besides me.
yeah, a friend of mine gave me that. He gifted that to me. I was like, oh yeah, you gotta play this. It's great on Steam Deck, and I installed it, and it looks cool. But I haven't played it. I gotta play that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about it.
Also confirmed, Manny, that was indeed the same director who did the King of Fighters intro. So very cool. He has a very distinct kind of look, but I noticed his update is not very as 90s looking as those Fatal Furies movies looked.
Well, yeah, everybody was all weirdly stretched out on those old,
and very sharp lines and stuff. Oh man, Brian, what are you playing, man?
The usual. Monster Hunter.
There you
helping
go.
out some other people's. Yeah, just waiting until.
Oh, I noticed someone got the platinum.
Oh yeah, Brian, you gotta toot your own horn, man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I got the platinum last week actually. Yeah, so that was a fun time. Definitely not be doing it again, but who knows? Yeah, it was a good time though. Definitely enjoyed it. Fishing was actually nowhere near as hard as I thought it would be. Everyone was saying that fishing was like the worst part, and it's actually not. So yeah, good times. Yeah, I'm just waiting until Claire Obscura comes out. Is it, you guys said next week?
Yeah,
24th. Yeah,
good stuff. And Manny, you playing anything?
Right now, I mean, I have I'm supposed to be getting Indiana Jones on Monday. I attempted to, or Tuesday. I attempted to go out and try to get it over, yesterday when it on its release day, and for some reason Amazon has it so late. They're going to be shipping it on the 22nd. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to cancel my order and see if I can pick it up at the GameStop that's over here. And then I'm like, they're like, I call them up on the phone, and I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, we have it. And according to the system, like, all right, I'll go over there, and they're like, I'm like, so I wanted to get the game, and I'm like, I asked them about it, and they're like, yeah, when I checked on it, it was here, but it says it was delisted. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
No.
You guys have one fucking job, and this is nothing against the actual employee of GameStop, but it's like,
That is fault, yeah.
you can't even sell a fucking game.
Did you cancel the Amazon one, or you still had that one?
Oh no, I had the Amazon one. I still had the Amazon one, and then because the pre-order, you know how Amazon does it. They don't charge you you pre-order, and they don't charge you until they ship it out. So it's probably gonna come out on whatever day it's gonna come. But it's like, come on, GameStop. You're supposed to be the game store. You should have
supposed to be the last
fucking
GameStop
release date.
That is where you go for games. It is the last stop for games.
It's the last stop where you go to games. But yeah, so they didn't have it. I was like, all right, good thing I still have it active on Amazon. And then the actual game I've been playing, have Monster Hunter, and obviously we still need to power up Chris. We need to give him his his next tour. But I'm sure he's already pretty powerful as is. I mean, I don't know how far you guys got.
Oh no! I need to fight Arkfeld again. I only fought him once. Yeah, I think I'm to rank 20 or 21. That's it. That's where.
Yeah, you have to be Hunter, because the game kind of starts bringing you up ladder the tier and stuff. So I think you have to when you're at 40 is when you fight Arkfeld again, and then you quote unquote finish the game.
Yeah, you finish the
although the game is never finished.
It is never done. Have you seen the gathering, the new gathering spot?
The gathering hub? No, I have not been there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know even know how to get there. I figure I'll talk to somebody or I'll kill something, and somebody will go, "Oh, did you know about this?"
Oh no, you know what it is. You just talk to the giant guy in Sogia.
Suja. There's a giant elf dude in Suja.
Yeah, so you just talk to him, and he guides you there. So and then once it's open, it's open. Also, something I found out about that gathering hub is that it has a locked time on it. So no matter what time you put, like let's say you can't change the time in that world. By the way, like you can't push time forward and make it different. And yeah, it's running on its own locked time frame, which is very interesting.
Wait, can you rest in there? Do you have a tent or something in the hub?
Oh no, yeah, you could rest
Yep.
in there and everything.
Yeah,
But
that's
You
how
can pretty much
put
do everything
Yeah.
in the hub now.
you
Yeah.
can't, but you can't change the time or the there's also no you can't change the
That's
season.
interesting because when you're in the tent, you can rest and say, "Oh, I want it to be night, or I want it to be morning."
Yeah, you can't do that at
Yeah,
the gathering
uh-huh.
hub because there's something connected to it.
Oh,
Nighttime, the diva comes out and sings.
like
in-
Fifth Element. What are we talking about?
Yeah, she comes out and she sings the song. She sings the theme song to the game. So yeah, it turns night and then she shows up and you can watch her and do all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah,
Interesting.
it's all locked for everybody. So it's on. I don't know how how fast the time frame goes in real time. It does that in that world and it's all.
I want my
locked.
Palico
So everybody
meals back, damn it.
experiences the same thing time. Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
yeah, that's what I've been playing. So I'm looking forward to jumping into Indiana Jones the game. I'm not, I'm me. I'm not really too into first person games, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, shooting is not. I mean, you shoot in this game, but it's not really the main thing you do. It's more of an exploring game.
I mean, there's more of an exploring and a melee game. I hear
Yep,
there's
and
also
puzzles.
I hear there's also a secret ending to that game too.
Ooh, I didn't know
You
about
collect-
that.
If you collect, you get all these collectibles and solve this puzzle toward the end of the
Wait.
game. So
Oh, I know what you're
I
talking
have
about.
no.
Yeah.
Did they keep the beefy punch noises from the movie?
Yeah, they're pretty beefy.
Like Indiana Jones had the most distinct punching sounds you ever heard in a movie. Like, what did
Yeah.
Spielberg trademark that shit? Nobody else had that sound effect. They punch each other.
Yeah, I don't know if they're exactly the same, but they're pretty good, Man, I know what you're talking about. I didn't complete it, but I know what you're talking about because there are pieces you collect and you can put them on this wall and shit.
they say it could be a hint as to what the DLC is.
Yeah. Man, this fucking trailer looks hype as fuck. I'm watching it's the Fatal Fury thing. All right, so what's up?
I don't like the I know that those two guys are in the
I know it
game,
bothers me.
but man, it bugs me. I wish they would just remove those guys and just have them in the thing. But now, now we have the two most boring characters in the fucking in this fucking intro.
And here's the thing. With the exception of two guys, all the people from Goro are in this. You know how they could have been in this game if you remove these two fucking idiots.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, you took out guys that were in the real game in order to have these jokers. It's like,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, I get it. I get why they're doing stuff like this, but it's annoying. Like, I hate that that whoever owns this shit now thinks that this is the thing. Okay, now we
Yeah.
gotta throw some fucking DJ and a soccer player in the game.
Yeah, and you've seen those stupid commercials they've been doing, right? It's like, we're dumb.
Why are you hating on the soccer player? That soccer player is probably going to sell a bunch of
Listen,
units. People are going to love
listen,
it. You
that's
saw the
that
Messi
soccer-
situation. You saw.
I don't know who that is.
I saw the Messi situation over there, but he doesn't need. I mean, again, what other than this guy, the player in the game doesn't even look like the dude. He's just this regular looking guy that you could easily switch out into somebody else. He doesn't look like him at all.
I don't know why they didn't try to at least make them look Fatal Fury-ish. You know what I mean? Or look like an SNK character at least. You know?
They could have did anything. But yeah, I get why they look that way. It's because whoever is in charge of their licensing shit is like, okay, we can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. So then now you get these boring ass looking fucking characters.
Yeah.
I hope there's another skin for them to not make them look that way.
Well, play them on PC because apparently gameplay-wise they're pretty good. Some dude actually won some Fatal Fury tournament with Ronaldo.
Oh, no.
It's crazy. So
of course he won over Ronaldo.
Because he wanted to prove I'm gonna troll people and win with this guy, and he did.
They're obviously troll characters.
No, but the thing is, it shows that they're mechanically sound. They're not low tier guys.
Can't wait.
But it sucks because they look stupid. Why couldn't you have that gameplay on a real character instead of fucking Ronaldo? But they got to make their money, and I'm pretty sure they're going to sell copies. So at least for Ronaldo, I could understand that DJ.
I don't even.
Nobody's heard of this guy.
That guy is.
Well, it's because the fucking
thought it
Saudi
was-
prince likes him. You know?
Oh, man, I know who he is.
Yeah, he's the only one. My cousin. I thought my cousin was trolling. He's like, yo, Salvatore Ganacci. I'm like, you're fucking with me, right? He actually does know him. He's the only person I know that knows this guy.
You know who I thought it was? I'm like, oh shit, they put
Maximilian,
dude in the game.
Did you see Max? Did you see Max's reaction to it? Like, basically, he had himself and Salvatore next to each other doing the same pose.
He's like,
He's like, I'm in the game. Oh man, Young Savage, what's going on, brother? He goes, dude, I fucking hate GameStop. As you should. They never have games, so what is even the point of that store? Yeah, it's trash.
I don't know, man.
The last
location, it's awful.
Yeah, the last 3 out of 4 times I went to GameStop, they didn't even have the game I went in to buy. GameStop, baby. All right.
And again, I went on the day that it's supposed to be available. Was it April 16th? Nothing.
Wow.
They said they said the only thing that they did have was the stupid the overly expensive super edition that they had.
Of course they had that. Of course they had that.
And okay, again, like again, people like that Indiana Jones movie. But what the fuck is wrong with that stupid super edition? It has nothing. It has 2 things extra to it, and all of a sudden it's $99.
It's crazy.
It only has like a DLC like skin to make him look like Temple of Doom Indiana Jones, which you can also unlock by playing the fucking game. And then they have a digital they call a digital art book in there.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, guys, really? That cost you that cost $99? Fuck you.
Those things aren't even that great.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly, Manny.
No, and then also the other thing is that those stupid art books, they also don't let you take screenshots in them either. They turn off the screenshot button when let's say you like some of the artwork on there, you want to take a photo of it. No, you can't do that. It won't let you do it.
Of course.
It turns them off because it does that for fucking Monster Hunter.
Yeah, because they don't want you sharing that shit around,
Whatever. Come on. It's just design work.
Yeah, but still, you know how it is.
It's not like it's ruining anything that you don't know. That, oh, hey,
Yeah. All right, man. Let's start wrapping up. Actually, wait. Plugs. Do we have anything to plug around here, Manny? You got anything?
I mean, this month was the Leonardo cover for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Obviously, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Naruto is already out on the streets. Again, apologies for the rarity of that cover that Kari Randolph and I did. And also, we're getting close to the next month. And the next month should be Michelangelo. So, see you then.
All right. Rich, what's coming up on the Coalition this weekend?
Well, as far as the Coalition this weekend, we will be covering the next episode of Power. That will be out tomorrow on the YouTube and the website. And aside from that, I will be continuing to work on a couple of reviews that will be dropping next week. So obviously, can't say anything about those games, but I will have a lot to say the next time.
There you go. And Adam, what's going on with your podcast?
Well, yeah, the TV Terminal. Yeah, so it's over on YouTube, and we have Mobland, and of course, we're doing The Last of Us. Me and my brother, we posted the last episode, well, the first episode. Gave a rundown of that with some stills and stuff, and to give our thoughts. And then we got episode 2 coming when that drops this week. So there you go.
Good stuff.
Brother.
All right, let's wrap it up, man. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. Join the Discord and check us out on your favorite podcast app. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Yo, it's that gameplay. It's that gameplay.
Adam Vale.
Yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. Watch WrestleMania.
Yay. Richard Bailey Jr.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
And Brian Manjoma.
This one is for you, Carlos. Really?
Nice.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Made sure everybody stayed quiet after that. Good stuff. All right, guys. We'll see you on Sunday. And we may stream some Monster Hunter this weekend. Let's see what happens. If it happens, it probably will be Friday because I now have plans for Saturday. So if it happens, probably Friday night. Stay tuned. Later.
Saturday night. Saturday night.